Hello, I'm Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, selling or buying a home? Find out if today's housing market is hot or not. Then, good news. Small changes can make a big difference in your health. We'll explain. Are women better than men at managing money? Find out. Plus, we'll log on for updates in Social Security. And medical bills can ruin your good credit unless you take our experts' advice.
It's the end of February, and we're ready to march ahead with great information. So pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. Everyone knows the housing market's been, well, how can I say this tactfully, a bit challenging over the last year or two. But how are things shaping up now? The always tactful Rachel Torch is here from Gateway Title, and we want to ask her, how's business?
Everybody asks me, how's business? That's a tough question to answer, Armin. I'd like to say great, because I'm supposed to be an optimist, but It's been a challenge, I've got to be honest. You know, the real estate market's really been tough. We're all seeing things in the past few years we thought we'd never see before. Mortgage fraud, houses upside down, foreclosures, short sales, houses that have been for sale for years and haven't sold.
Now, when you say houses upside down, you don't mean actually houses upside down. You mean with people who owe more than the house is now worth.
Right.
Maybe because the market took their value down.
Yeah, the appraisal, when the bank went to do appraisal, the appraisal is lower than the amount of the mortgage.
Are things picking up, though, in the market? What? Give us some good news. Come on, Rachel.
You know what? Things are picking up, I have to say. And it's the time of the year for them to be picking up.
Right.
I see a lot of things improving. I take a lot of calls from customers. I talk to them myself because it keeps me in a pulse on the market. And they're now calling about what are fees? What do I do if I'm selling? What are closing costs? How can I save money? They call me for a lot of things. I like talking to them because then I know what's going on.
Now let's talk about the saving money part, because one of the things I love when you come on the show, you help people save money, and you work a lot with people who end up trying to sell and actually selling on their own. Tell us a little bit.
A lot of people do sell by owner, and it saves them a lot on commission. Sometimes they can't afford to list. For those people,
especially today with the housing prices dropping.
Well, we have a free starter kit.
Okay, point to it. I should show this free starter
All
kit.
they have to do is call. We'll send it out to them.
And this has a lot of great information. I have gone through it myself.
Yep. And they can call us and come in for a free consultation. We'll sit down with them. We'll tell them what the costs are, what paperwork is involved, and exactly what they need to do, whether they're selling with a realtor or by owner.
And as a title company, you're not a real estate company. You do title work, which is critical to helping people when they have to sell.
That's right. That's right. We just really want to help them. We've got a newsletter which has a lot of good information in it.
You don't have to point this time. I have this one right here.
Very good.
All right.
And
you sell this. You send this out.
I don't sell it.
No, you don't. For free.
Yeah.
You send it out every few months?
Every few months. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, every few months, and it's got some good recipes in there too.
And our viewers can get this if they call too.
Oh, sure.
Great.
Sure.
Great. Now, it's springtime. Is that a better time to sell?
Yeah, that's why we're starting our workshops. We have a workshop coming up on February the 27th.
Okay. I think we have some there.
No, March 5th.
March 5th.
March 5th.
March 5th. 9:30 to noon. Where is a Gateway Title classroom?
It's on Brecksville Road in Brecksville, Ohio. Very easy to get to.
All right. And is there a fee for this program?
It's free.
Free? My viewers love free.
I know that.
And you walk through the ABCs of selling a property.
Yes, we do. We get experts to come in that they can ask questions to also.
Great, great. Rachel, thank you so much. Always great information, always helpful, especially in these times when we need every penny out of our house that we can get.
Sure do.
Thank you, Rachel. Flowers won't be the only thing popping up soon in people's yards. We're going to soon see for sale signs. And if you listen to Rachel, sold signs. For help understanding all the ins and outs of the real estate market, give Rachel a call. You can get to her seminar. You can get her starter kit, and you can get on her mailing list for the newsletters. Her number's up next.
For more information, call Gateway Title at 1-800-357-0567 or visit www.gatewaytitle.com. Next, one small change for you, one giant leap for your health. But first, astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were our pioneer moonwalkers. But can you recall who was next to land in their famous footstep? We'll fill in the empty space with the answer when we return.
The most advanced therapies and clinical trials, I would give you confidence. And the Cleveland Clinic Cancer Center experts at the forefront, I would bring you comfort. And that's what Moving Life Ahead is all about at Fairview Hospital, a Cleveland Clinic hospital.
Here's the weighty answer. Apollo 12 launched Charles Conrad and Alan Bean into history as the second two men to walk on the moon, just 4 months after those famous small steps.
Just 2 months ago, we were making resolutions. Cut down on carbs, lose weight, start exercising. Well, it's now the end of February, And if you're like me, maybe we didn't follow exactly through as well as we should have. Dr. Abboud has some good news for us backsliders for that matter. And his advice is think small, not big. And you'll be surprised what big changes will take place. Dr. Abboud is with the Soul and Spine and Wellness Center. Thanks for joining us, Doctor.
Thanks.
Doctor, what do you mean by think small?
Well, it started, that idea, I was reading an article about the city of Chicago, and there was an engineer that found a leak in the subterranean tunnel, and it would have cost $10,000 to repair it. But he got turned down, and it ended up costing the city $1 billion when it breached the walls. And so, in my mind, the moral of the story is a little bit of prevention goes a long way.
How does that apply to our resolutions?
Well, think about it. I mean, our health is built on day by day by day situations. We didn't gain that extra 30 pounds overnight. We earned it, and we earned that extra, punch that's sitting in our stomach. And so each day, if you make small changes, bigger results end up.
Like what?
Well, for example, did you know that if, say you drink 2 Cokes every day, 2 bottles of Coke, and if you change nothing else and you switch to 1 bottle of Coke a day, you would lose 36 pounds. 36 pounds.
And doing something like that will make you want to eat healthier, I assume.
Exactly. I mean, it's not glamorous. It's not glamorous to go to lunch and eat a salad when everyone else is eating hamburgers. But at the end of a month, or at the end of 6 months, or at the end of the year, it pays off huge dividends in how you feel. What
about exercise? How do we think small with our exercise?
What about, instead of, watching TV, you take a half-hour walk each day? Makes a huge difference. Or instead of that full pack of cigarette, you cut down to half a pack of cigarette.
My wife has suggested that I get rid of the clicker for the TV and get up and change the channels. And I've thought about that, but I think I'd rather do the treadmill.
Right.
So all of these things almost sound too small to make a difference.
I know, but I love what Stephen Covey, the author of 7 Habits, wrote. He said, start with the end in mind. And I think if you start and say, okay, here's where I want to be, here's what I want to weigh, here's what I want to be like at the end of this year, and then go backwards. What do I have to do today to get there? And just set yourself a plan and go by it slowly and celebrate. Find the extraordinary in the ordinary, in taking a walk.
In my experience, people come out of the box, they're all pepped up, they want to exercise, they want to lose weight, and they take on too much. They do too much exercise at once, and it creates an injury or it creates a problem.
It really does, and that's what we're seeing in our practice over years, is people that have just tried to take it on way too quick and have not taken the slow approach.
And your practice is helping people with back problems. And actually, if somebody has a sore back, it makes it harder to start exercise because you don't feel like doing it.
It's a vicious cycle, right? And it happens in reverse, too. I mean, if you're gaining weight, it's putting more and more pressure on your spine over time. And it is heroic. Many of our surgeons out there are doing great work doing back surgeries. But I think it's time to celebrate some of the guys that aren't adding all that weight and are staying healthy. And our office is dedicated to working with chronic back pain patients before they need surgery, or sometimes even after they've had the surgery that didn't work out so well.
And you've done some great things with people. I know I've actually had personal testimonials from people come to me and tell me that your lumbar decompression and other things has been helpful.
Nice.
So thank you.
Good to hear.
So if big changes in your lifestyle seem overwhelming, follow Dr. Abboud's advice and think small. But don't give up the TV clicker. For more information, give them a call. The number's up next.
Learn more by calling the Solon Spine and Wellness Center at 440-248-5070 or visit their website www.solonbackpain.com. Next, women, men, and money. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Wise women know that it's worth the investment of time to attend Women and Money, Financial Challenges Women Face. This seminar is offered by the Lineweaver Financial Group, and the price is right, free. Head to the Lineweaver offices in Valley View on Tuesday, March 22nd at 6 p.m. or Thursday, March 24th at 1 p.m. Reservations are required, so call 1-888-313-4009.
Who's managing the money in your home? In many cases, including mine, it's the woman. And women are doing a pretty good job of it, too. In fact, Jim Lineweaver says they manage money better than men. He also says women have unique challenges when it comes to saving and investing, and he's here to help. Jim's a financial planner with the Lineweaver Financial Group. Thanks for joining us, Jim.
My pleasure.
So are women really better money managers than we guys?
Well, with us being on tape, I'll have to say yes, since you teed it up that way. But in many aspects, women are more conservative, and it actually leads to some better financial planning over time. And we have a lot of examples to show your viewers. So one of them is, coming out of a recession, most women are going to cut spending dramatically. As a matter of fact, 72% compared to 62% of men. They also plan to save more in tough times, 85% compared to 62%, and they're also going to be more likely to pay down debt by over 7%.
How about stocks, investing? Women do as well as men in investing?
Not necessarily. They're a little more conservative, but what they have to do is they have to understand there is a lot of dynamics out there, and they also have a tendency to live a lot longer. As a matter of fact, by 8 more years is the average life expectancy of a woman compared to a man, so they have to adjust their finances accordingly.
You've created 5 stages that impact women in particular in terms of their money. Can you go through that with us?
Yeah, the first stage is really just dealing with single women. Maybe they're younger and they're really trying to get out on their own. So there's certain issues that they're actually going to be facing. And some of those are going to be, considering that they have to build an emergency fund for themselves in the event that something ever happens to them, so they don't jump back on credit cards. They want to be able to make sure they're putting money away to save for retirement. You usually want at least 10% of your savings. You got to learn to budget, and women are much better at this than men are. And they also want to maybe save for that down payment for their first home. And in today's day and age, it's usually around 20%.
Why are women better at saving for the future and budgeting than we are?
I don't think women really are into as many type of material objects and stuff as sometimes men are.
Really?
Sometimes men want to wear it on their sleeves a little more than women do. So that conservative nature on the financial side can really pay off.
Maybe also they've heard more stories about women, in divorce or a widow, getting stung, which gets us to stage 2.
Yeah, stage 2 is where you're actually not only responsible for just yourself, but you also have to be responsible for your children. And this is where some other dynamics come into play. You have to make sure you have adequate life insurance in the event something happens to you because you are a single parent. You have to make sure you have proper disability insurance to make sure that you're protecting your most valuable asset, which is your ability to earn an income. You have to get the will done to make sure there's proper guardianship, estate planning, and a lot of other things that really come into play when you're really relying just on yourself and nobody else to fall back on.
That's so that if something happens to you, the children are taken care of.
Yes,
and
exactly.
that's critically important. Now there's a lot of other situations that women are affected by. As I mentioned, divorce, death of a spouse. Those are other stages that you talk about typically in programs.
They are. We have an upcoming program. We're going to do this twofold. One is we have a free education program for your viewers if they'd like to attend. It's in our Valley View office. It's right by 77 and 480. It's going to be for Women and Money on Tuesday, March 22nd at 6 p.m. and Thursday, March 24th at 1 p.m. And on the next show, we're going to also cover a second segment of this, which is going to cover the divorce and some of those other issues that you talked about.
And you'll be talking about the divorce and the widow and preparing to be ready for those kinds of events at the seminar?
We are going to cover all aspects of this.
Great. And how much does the seminar cost?
It's free. It's no cost to your viewers.
My viewers love free.
Just make sure they sign up early, because once we get to about 45, we do have to cut it off.
Great, Jim. Thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you.
information. All right. Women, you have a lot to handle, and that includes your finances. Follow Jim's advice, including attending his seminar. I'll tell you, it's a worthwhile investment of your time. We'll be back.
To find out more, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net. Next, a sight to see. It's time to get up and go. An exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hi, I'm Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're going to do an overhead extension to work the tricep area of our arms. This is going to help us get in and out of chairs and things like that. You ready to go, Armand?
I am ready.
We each got a dumbbell. What we're going to do is we're going to start with our arms straight in the air. We want the bicep to be right next to our ear. Beautiful. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let it drop down behind the head to about a 90-degree angle before returning it straight back up to the starting position. Try to keep your arm as straight as possible the whole time. Down and up to the starting position. Very good.
Very important. Do not hit your head.
Do not hit your head. Absolutely, yes. And if you let the dumbbell cradle in your hand, it is a little easier for you to get that dumbbell up straight up and down. Let it cradle. Looking good. Good posture. Straight up and down. All right, Armand's got it. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
I got it.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
Feeling insecure about Social Security? No need to stress out. Help is as close as your phone and computer. Brandon Smith is a public affairs specialist for the Social Security Administration, and he's here today to explain how we can secure the information we need. Thanks for joining us, Brandon.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so a lot of baby boomers are retiring this year. As I understand it, it's like 10,000 a day, every day. And applying for Social Security can be a little intimidating for people. So tell us how the Social Security Administration can help.
Sure, not a problem. People are already aware that we have applications they can take care of over the phone. They can come into our offices and take care of their business, but we have an online retirement application. It takes about 15 minutes to complete, and since it's online, you can do it from the comfort of home, library, computer center, and also a good thing that we'll also contact you via the telephone after you've applied online.
So let me understand. You can go online, you go onto the Social Security Administration, we'll give a computer website. They fill something out, and then you guys call the person afterwards?
Our website, socialsecurity.gov, the online home of the Social Security Administration. If you want to, you can file online, and once you're done actually applying online, within a couple of days, we'll contact you just to cross the T's and dot the I's, just to see if there's any other information we need from you.
All right, so when we go to the computer to apply, or we do it in person, what information do we need to have with us at the time?
For the most part, you'll need general information in regards to your Social Security number, obviously. Your marital information, what are your work plans? Do you plan on working this entire year, stopping working at some point in the year, were you in the military, so forth and so on. Bank account information, what financial institution do you want us to send the checks to? The questions are generally identical, whether you're doing online, over the phone, or in the office.
Do you need your actual card, or is just having the number enough?
The number's enough. We don't use the Social Security card for identification purposes, so we don't actually have to see it to be able to, for you to take the application over the phone or online.
A lot of people call and have asked me and have asked our Golden Opportunity hotline, when they should retire. Is there anything at that website or anything you can make available to people that helps them decide when's the best time?
Sure. We do have something called the Online Retirement Estimator. We have an English version and we just unveiled a Spanish version. You go onto the website, socialsecurity.gov, you look for the estimator, and you can put in some personal information. It can give you your benefit information from every age from 62 all the way to 70. It also can do what we call what if scenarios, what if you stop working at a certain point versus another point. So a lot of options you do have with the estimator.
It'll tell you the amount that you would get if you retire at 63 or 66
Absolutely.
or whatever.
Yes.
Now, how does that differ from, don't we get a statement in the mail that tells us an estimate of what we're going to get?
You do. You get a statement in the mail. It should be 2 to 3 months before your birthday, but that only gives you benefit information at 3 ages, 62, 70, and your full retirement age. It's also making the assumption that you're still working at that same rate of that last year on the statement. The estimator links up to your earnings record, and you can put in a stop work date at 59 versus 62. You can also flub the ages a little bit as far as the wages. Do you going to make $70,000 next year versus 20, and how will that affect your overall benefit amount?
And all that is calculable on this website.
Correct. Socialsecurity.gov.
Great. Any other advantage to doing things online?
We do have an online Medicare-only application as well for people who may want to file for just Medicare but delay taking their cash benefits. That application takes about 10 minutes to complete. There's a plethora of things you can do on our website. We have a spouse's application, disability, find your local office. All of our pamphlets and brochures can be found on our website, Social Security.
You're trying to push everybody to the website, or can you still call?
You can still call, you can still come in. It's just giving people more options. I liken it back to when you go to the grocery store. There's a checkout line for Express, there's a self-checkout line, there's the normal checkout line. All we're doing is we're giving people options to take care of their Social Security related business.
You still have actual offices with real people in it too?
We still do. There are 8 of them in Cuyahoga County, 28 in Northern Ohio. Each office is open between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Great information. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for making available the website. Appreciate
Thank you,
that. In person, over the phone, online, the Social Security Administration is open and available to you. Use the information that's coming up next to reach them in the way that best suits you. My thanks to Brandon Smith for joining us today.
For information, call the Social Security office at 1-800-772-1213 or click to www.socialsecurity.gov. Next, the prescription to process your good credit. Do you want to live life to the fullest? Gates Mills Club is your choice. A full-service senior community located across from Hillcrest Hospital, Gates Mills Club offers exceptional amenities, restaurant-style dining, social events, activities, and transportation for one incredibly low price. We also offer personalized assisted care, an affordable alternative to assisted living. Come see why Gates Mills Club is such a beautiful place to call home. For your complimentary lunch and tour, call today.
Get your pencils and paper ready because we're doing what you asked. We're going to list all of the phone numbers again from our guests so you can have more time to write them down. And then I'll be back with advice on keeping medical bills from ruining your credit.
Would you like to join our
No matter your age, good credit is important. Yet more and more folks are getting hit with bad credit scores due to supposedly unpaid medical bills. Now, I say supposedly because in many cases mistakes have been made and the bills just aren't correct. We all know how difficult it can be to keep track of our medical bills during an illness. Doctors and hospitals send us bills. Some of those we're supposed to pay, others the insurance company or Medicare should take care of. But keeping track of what's been paid and what's outstanding can be a real chore. Nationally, almost half of all collection accounts on credit reports are for unpaid medical bills. Doctors and hospitals often don't want to have to waste time trying to collect bills. So what they do is they turn over unpaid bills to collection agencies. Once a collection agency is involved, the problem tends to get worse. Collection companies often won't bother trying to collect small bills, but they'll still report them to credit reporting agencies. Once an unpaid medical bill shows up on your credit report, it'll stay there for 7 years, even if you pay it off. Collection accounts are weighted against you more heavily than regular bills, too, when figuring your credit rating. All right, so how can you protect yourself and your good credit? First, keep in touch with your healthcare providers. If you're helping an ill parent, for example, make sure you contact their providers, too. Find out the status of any bills. Let the providers know that you're on top of things. Keep them apprised of the status, whether a bill's been submitted to insurance and whether the insurance carrier says it's been paid. It's much better to resolve any billing issues with the healthcare provider, like the hospital or doctor, than with a collection agency. And the provider only gets cents on the dollar when turning accounts over to collection. So they would prefer working things out directly with you, too, even if you don't have the resources to pay right now. Sometimes they'll agree to take less than full payment. Remember, once they turn the account over to collection, the agency gets a percentage. The collection agency gets a large percentage. So sometimes the provider will agree to take payments over time, too. Whatever agreement you make, it should be in writing, and you must abide by it once you make it. Now, if your bill has already gone to collection, and if it's legitimate and you can pay it, offer to pay the bill immediately, but only if the collection agency agrees to take it off your record promptly. We'll be right back.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information, or log on to www.budishandsolomon.com.
Thanks for joining us. Tune in next week when we're up to our ears in good news for those with a hearing loss. Then someone's in the kitchen and it's not Dinah. Find out who and what's cooking. Thinking of moving from your home, sweet home? We'll help you decide when the time is right. Plus, the story of how a frown turned upside down. And our death panel's already here. Until next week, make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.